Hello Game Ranger fans, Power Rangers Super Sentai News here, back with another video. Today's video is going to be on Power Rangers Beast Morphers Season 2, and I'm going to be going over my thoughts on the international episodes airing. So the episodes in the UK, as you know, right now in the US and Canada, or mainly in the US, we are on hiatus right now. We went on hiatus after episode 8 or 9, I think, or 7 or 8, depending on the numbering, because of that whole sports special episode. They have started airing the new episodes that we haven't got yet. Have started airing in the UK on a channel called Pop, and so far, at the time of this recording, 2 episodes have aired, which is the EVOC Snare and Intruder Alert. And I have seen both episodes, and I'm just going to go over my quick thoughts on the major parts of them and how they kind of work together as a whole, to the Power Rangers mythos, to Beast Morphers itself, and kind of where it's heading with the big Dino team up and stuff like that. So again, this is going to be filled with spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, if you want to wait until the US returns, which should be sometime in July, I think, then you can stop watching now. Or if you don't care about spoilers, but continue watching. So let's get started. So starting with the EVOC Snare, this is the first episode to come back. It will be the first episode to come back after the hiatus. So basically, not counting the sports special episode, it kind of picks up where the last one left off, where Devin now knows that Evox is inside his dad, and basically he spends the whole episode trying to find a way to save him. They do something really cool in order to figure out how to do this. Well, first of all, they shut off the Morphex towers to kind of lure Evox out of hiding, because Evox needs the Morphex to, I guess, continue remaining in Evox form, and he needs it to keep himself charged and stuff like that. So basically, they shut down all the Morphex towers to try and lure him out. But what I more want to go over is basically how this episode connects to the Ranger mythos. So basically, like I said, the whole episode, Devin is trying to figure out how to separate Evox from his father. And something that was a big surprise was that he goes into a Ranger archives, Nate's Ranger archives. Nate has this archive of past Ranger tech, and we see like the Dino Thunder blasters, we see the Mystic Morphers, and all these different kinds of cool technology from Ranger past, which actually makes sense, because since Grid Battle Force was able to create their own Ranger tech, it makes sense that Nate would have this, and who's to say that he didn't reverse engineer some of the old Ranger tech to kind of start the Beast Morphers Ranger tech. They could have taken stuff like information from the blasters, from the Mystic Morphers, from the RPM Morphers, the RPM Morphers in there. Like, they could have taken information from all this old tech and kind of reverse engineered it into the Beast Morphers tech, which I think is really cool. The only thing that I would say, and I think a lot of people, because I've seen reviews of this episode, in particular Dawson Ryder's review of this episode, he said, and I have the same kind of idea, is that I wish that this Ranger archive room had been shown before, like shown in season 1, or somewhere at the beginning of season, or near the end of season 1 or something like that, just to kind of, or maybe even in the first episode, just to kind of, say in passing that yes, this exists, this is how it works, and they've had this the entire time. It just seemed kind of weird to pop up just at random, but I guess the whole first part of the season 1 was just trying to get this new current team going and stuff like that, and I guess they just kind of brought it up now because the whole Dino team up is coming up. So there's that. And the next thing is that while Devin is in the Ranger archives, he actually gets in touch with Dr. K from RPM Universe. So yeah, Olivia Tennant, who played Dr. K in RPM, if you didn't know, she comes back as Dr. K. And at first, when I saw her in the episode, I didn't recognize her. She looks obviously, it's been 11 years since RPM, so she's obviously 11 years older, and she looks quite a bit different. Well, not that much, but it took me a second to kind of register. Oh man, that is her, like that. But it was, and I thought that this whole Dr. K, because we knew she was coming back. Like that was that news was released like months ago, um, and I guess a lot of us thought that it was going to be just for the Dino team up, but it actually comes in like in the before the Dino team up, which is really cool. And she basically mentions how in her universe, the Black Ranger Dylan was half robot, and he had a virus growing that causes him to become more robotic. And Devin was wondering if that same tech could help his dad escape from EVOX. And she says that basically it's not the same thing because it was more of a robotic thing before, but this is like an actual like computer virus kind of a thing. But she does mention, which is the next thing I want to talk about, is she mentions Xenowing from Dino Charge. She mentions how he was merged with Doomwing due to the Dark Energem, and how they used split emitters to separate them. And she kind of mentions like, oh, you could use those to split them apart. So he kind of gets the idea to grab the split emitters, which they also have in the Ranger archive, to split them apart, which is really cool because, I mean, as established in Ninja Steel or Super Ninja Steel in Dimensions in Danger, the Dino Charge and RPM universe and the main universe, which basically all the universes are still communicating, as seen in Dimensions in Danger. They communicate. They like Wes and Gemma and Coda talk to each other. Rocky and Trent and all these people are still talking to each other, and I like how they're still keeping with the continuity, that they're still talking to each other and they're aware of it, and they're aware of other dimensions, which is really great because basically she talks about Xenowing and Doomwing and stuff like that. So yeah, that was really cool. And so that's what they do. They get the split emitters charged with Morphex and split Evox and Mary Daniels apart, which I was actually I was actually surprised that they got it done so quick, because usually like something like this will like last a couple of episodes. Like in the original like Saban days and Disney days, something like a subplot like this would like merge with a good person merge with an evil person usually lasts a couple of episodes. But I guess they since like it took a while for the Rangers to figure it out, I guess they just wanted to get it done like super quick. And so they trick Evox into coming to a certain part, and then a certain part of the city, and then Evox transforms back into Mayor Daniels and tries to get Devin to let him go, and Devin pretends to let him go, and then steps him into the right and gets him to step into the correct area for the split emitters. The split happens, and Mayor Daniels is back. Woohoo! So yeah, that's basically the main ones I wanted to talk about. I really enjoyed that episode. I guess, and what makes these episodes better is like leading up to the Dino team up, which I'm really excited for. But seeing Dr. K again, mentioning other dimensions, the split emitters, fixing the whole Evox Mary Daniels thing, it was really cool. And then in the next episode, which is called Intruder Alert, this episode actually borrows footage from a Go Busters and Space Sheriff Gavin episode. So, and Space Sheriff Gavin is one of the metal heroes. So, for those that aren't aware, metal heroes are basically what VR Troopers used. Like the metal suits that VR Troopers used, those were Metal Heroes series. And Big Bad Beetleborgs and Beetleborgs Metallics, those were Metal Heroes series. I think Space Sheriff Gavin was the original metal hero, like the very first metal hero. Yeah, this episode uses footage from that crossover. Basically, the Rangers get a distress call from an unknown person saying that an evil criminal is coming to Earth, named Ryjack, and that he's going to try and steal the Morphex and stuff like that. So the Rangers are on high alert, and they go out on patrol, and they see who they think is Ryjack, but it's actually Gavin, like the Gavin suit. But they believe that he is Ryjack, so they take him back to Grid Battle Force because he was taking some Morphex to inject into himself. And so they think that he's the bad guy and take him back to Grid Battle Force. But then, of course, through misunderstandings and stuff like that, and eventual realizations, they realize that he is not a bad guy, that his name is Captain CHAKU from the Space Police. And so then they work together to defeat Ryjack, or try and defeat Ryjack. It was a really good episode because it kind of brings, again, like the type of episode that Ninja Steel had with Sheriff Skyfire. So, but it was really cool seeing the Gavin suit in American footage for the first time ever. How he was really quick to help Ravi and Zoe because they got attacked by Ryjack's beam and they get sick, and how they team up to take him down, which is really cool. Now, one thing that I wasn't a fan of was his name, Captain CHAKU. It seems like a weird name, and I know CHAKU as a name. CHAKU is kind of, I guess, taken from in the Metal Hero Gavin Japanese show. The word CHAKU appears in his transformation call to turn into Gavin, and that's kind of why they chose that. But again, I wish they kind of chose like a cooler name, like I don't know, like Space Sheriff something or other, like, because Captain CHAKU just seemed kind of silly to me. And also, what I don't like is that, like with Sheriff Skyfire, they don't show his civilian form at all. I mean, if he has one, he might not have one. They don't really specify if he's a robot or not, or a human in a suit of armor. I wish that they would say that he's a human wearing a suit of armor and like give him a civilian mode. That's one thing that I was kind of sad they didn't do with Sheriff Skyfire. But it is what it is. Although this Gavin episode is a two-parter, like at the end of this episode, he's still there with them because they're going to need to help him get back home. So maybe in the next episode they'll show his civilian form if he has one, or they'll specify if he's a robot. But we'll see. So those are basically my thoughts, guys. And as for discussion videos on the next episodes, like the next episode's coming, I'm not sure when the next one will be because I'm not sure what the schedule is for airing in the UK. I don't know if it's like every weekend or a couple days throughout the week, because I think these two episodes, the EVOC Snare and Intruder Alert, aired like one day apart from each other, which kind of messed with me because I thought it was like I wasn't aware they were even airing. So we'll see what goes on with the schedule and that. Although concerning the Dino team up, which is not this episode coming, but the next one. So we had EVOC Snare, Intruder Alert, then whatever episode is next, and then I believe after that is the Dino team up, which would make it episode 13. If my numbering is right, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But when the Dino team up airs, I do plan on doing a reaction video to it. Obviously not showing the entire episode, but showing clips, like 10 minutes of footage or 7 minutes, depending on what YouTube's tolerance is for that. But I'm going to be trying to avoid spoilers for the Dino team up, and I'm hopefully going to be watching it once it appears somewhere online, because I know even though it's airing in the UK, it does appear online on Facebook. So, or I think, or it'll appear somewhere, and I'll try and find it and do a live reaction to it, or not live, but I'll do a reaction to it and post that, and hopefully that'll be coming out very soon, whenever the episode airs in the UK. That'll be coming out shortly after. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. I just want to go over the best parts of these first 2 episodes back in the UK. Again, I love the Dr. K cameo, how they're using the Dino Charge technology. The Ranger Vault is awesome. Oh, also, one thing I forgot to mention was that during one of the fights with Ryjack, he actually summons Vivix and Putty Patrollers to fight the Rangers with. So that's another thing that was really cool in the Intruder Alert Gavin episode. So again, that's kind of where I wanted to leave off. I loved all these kind of callbacks to Ranger lore and stuff, and I can't wait for more. And also the Dino came up. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. May the power protect you.